So today we learn Internet Protocol IP version 4. So Internet Protocol is a network layer protocol. It is a connectionless best effort delivery service, and it contains the header as well as the data part. So Internet header or IPv4 header is represented by a table structure like this, where there are different rows, and in each row there will be some bit pattern from 0 to 31, that is 32 bits. So each of these rows is a length of 32 bits, and there are different fields uh, as seen by the names. So there are different fields of this header. So these fields are version, IHL, type of service, total length, identification, flags, fragment offset, TTL, protocol, header checksum, source IP address, destination IP address, and as well as there are different options and padding. So we'll learn each of these fields one after the other. So version is the version of this IP packet. So in case of IPv4, it will be 4, and in case of IPv6, the version value will be 6. The next field is IHL. IHL stands for Internet Header Length. That is, it is the length of the header itself. It is represented in a unit of 32 bits. So its value lies from 5 to 15. Because as you have seen that in this header there are 5 compulsory rows, that is this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and for each row the length is 32 bits, and IHL is counted in terms of 32 bits. So for these 5 rows the count will be 5. This is the minimum header length, and there may be some options. So these options may contain multiple rows, that means multiple 32 bits. So accordingly, the length may increase one after the other. The maximum, there will be 10 rows for the options. So it can lead to 10 different counts of IHL. So maximum IHL value is 15, whereas the minimum value is 5. So IHL range is from 5 to 15. Next is the type of service, TOS, type of service. So there are 8 bits assigned to this type of service, out of which 4 bits are assigned for priority, 3 bits are assigned for delay, throughput, reliability and cost, and 1 bit is unused. And next field is total length. So it is the length of the header as well as the length of the data. It is in terms of bytes, and the maximum value in these 16 bits it contains is 65,535. So this is the total length, the header length plus data length. Next is the identification. It specifies which packet a particular fragment belongs to. So it may happen that a total packet may not be delivered by the underlying network because of whatever be the reason, and sometimes the router may require to fragment or chop these packets into a set of fragments. So if a particular packet is divided into suppose 10 fragments, then each of these 10 fragments should identify the packet number. That packet number is in this case identification number. So all these fragments belong to a particular packet, and that is identified by the identification field. Next is the flags. These flags, there are 3 bits in the flags, and out of which 1 is unused, and this second is DF bit or don't fragment bit. So it is an instruction given by the source that don't fragment the packet. That means sometimes if the router needs to fragment the packet because of its requirement that underlying network is not capable of sending the whole packet in a single chunk, in that case, before fragmenting, the router observes on this particular flag, that is DF bit. If it is set, then it is an instruction by the source that don't fragment the packet. So fragmentation is not allowed. In this case, the router, if the router is not capable of sending the whole packet without fragmentation, it discards the packet and it sends a signal to the source. But if this DF bit is reset, that means it is 0, that means there is no instruction from the source side. In that case, router fragments the packet as per the requirement. So DF bit is, if it is set, that means it is an instruction by the source that don't fragment the packet. If it is reset, then there is no instruction from the source and the router may fragment the packet. And the last flag is the MF flag, or more fragment flag. So this MF bit is 1 for all the fragments except the last one. That means if the packet is divided into 10 fragments, for example, then the first 9 fragments will carry this MF bit as 1. That means there are more fragments to follow. Only the last fragment, or the 10th fragment, will have this MF bit as 0. That means this 10th fragment is an indication that there is no more fragment after me. So this MF bit is indicating the last fragment, and it is 0 for the last fragment, and all the previous fragments will have the MF bit as 1. Next is the fragment offset. So it is an offset within the packet. So if a packet is fragmented, obviously the fragments will be different parts of the packet. So how they will be reassembled by the receiver? So this offset is an indication of the offset value for a particular fragment. That means if a packet is divided into 10 fragments, then the first fragment will have the offset value as 0. Second fragment will have the offset value that is equal to the length of the first fragment divided by 8, because the fragment value in this case, or the offset value in this case, is a unit of 8 bytes. So if the length of the first fragment is, for example, the length of the first fragment is 16 bytes, and in this case the offset for the second fragment will be 16 bytes by 2 by 8, that is 2. So it will be shifted by 16 bytes. Okay, and the third fragment will be having the offset value that is equal to the summation of the first fragment and the second fragment divided by 8 bytes. So accordingly, it represents the offset from the 0th position or the first position. So this offset is used, this fragment offset value is used by the receiver to reassemble the fragments once these fragments reach the receiver. The maximum value that it can contain is 8191. And it considers the data part only. TTL is the time to live. That means if a packet is discharged in the network to reach a particular destination, it is not allowed to travel through the network indefinitely. It may happen that the destination is unreachable, or the network in that part is in some sense it is down, or the host itself is down, so that the packet is not deliverable to the destination. Still it will search for different paths to reach the destination. In that case, there will be a huge loss of network resource, because ultimately it will not be delivered, but the packet will be unnecessarily traveling here and there to reach the destination. So there is a TTL field that is set by the source, so that it has an idea that, okay, this packet may take this amount of time to reach the receiver, and if it is not reached within this amount of time, then this packet will be discarded, because it will be considered that it is unreachable. So TTL field is important to reduce the load of the network in case the packet is not deliverable. Okay, it is actually measured not in terms of count, but it is in terms of hop count. It is not in terms of time count, but it is in terms of hop count. That means it may happen that from the source A to source B, maximum 30 hops are required. 30 hops means 30 intermediate routers or network devices are required to reach the destination. So the source puts the value of this TTL as 30, and once the packet is redistributed by the next router, it will be decremented by 1. So the next router will make it 29, the next to next router will make it 28. So when the packet is delivered by a router, the TTL field is auto decremented by 1, and ultimately the packet have to reach the destination before TTL reaches 0. If the router gets this TTL value 0, and then it will be discarded by the router automatically. It will not be delivered further. So this will help in unnecessary travel of the network of the packet within the network. Next is the protocol value to which is the packet is to be delivered. For TCP it is 6, UDP it is 17, ICMP it is 1. And there will be header checksums for verification of the integrity of the header part. Integrity of the data part is left to the upper layer. And there will be a source IP address and the destination IP address. Again, for IPv4 it is a 32-bit IP address both for source and the destination. And there will be different options that may be required, and there are different fields of these options, and the length of the option may vary, but ultimately the length of the packet should be in terms of or in multiple of 32 bits. So some padding part is added. The padding is nothing but zeros to make the header in terms of multiple of 32 bits.